Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Film Guy Network. My name is Brooks Austin. I'm the director of recruiting for Sports Illustrated. Do a lot of film study around here during the college football season. We've already done our what to expect film study for Kentucky's offense. Pretty putrid. Didn't necessarily love watching that. We got the defensive film study coming up for Kentucky. Going to watch South Carolina's offense versus Kentucky's defense from this past weekend. And I like to go into these things with obviously a little preconceived notion about what these programs are. Told you my thought process on Kentucky's offense for years has always been, all right, they might be 3-by-1. They might be an 11 personnel football team, but they're a 12 personnel football team out of attached tight end formations, right? Tight ends are going to be really, really involved. They're going to be really attached to the line of scrimmage, no matter who your coordinator is. They can rotate it whatever they want. That's who Mark Stoops' offense and identity and Kentucky identity and ideology kind of is. And then I think about the defensive side of the football, and I think of them normally, historically, this Mark Stoops defense of being like, or this Kentucky defense being a 3-4 defense, right? They're going to play 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, 2 inside linebackers, 2 outside linebackers with very different body types. The outside linebackers are going to be like 6'4", 215, 220, big, tall, linear, almost power forward looking guys. And then the inside linebackers are going to be almost like traditional inside linebackers, right? They're going to be big, they're going to be physical, they're going to be long, they're going to be 245 plus. That's what I normally think. Cover 3 football team. That's what I normally think of Kentucky defense. I turned them on last night to get a kind of perusal, if you will, of what we're going to be looking at today. They're a 4-2-5 nickel football team. They're trying to be Georgia, to be honest with you. They'll bump in a 3-4 every once in a while because Deion Walker's special and because other teams are trying to play 12 personnel occasionally or they're trying to stop the run. But they're playing a lot of mixed coverage out of a 4-2-5 nickel. It looks a lot like what you guys do if you're a Georgia fan listening today. All right, we got a saying around here. Hey, it's time to shut up and grind. The tape, let's do it. Not gonna lie to you, I've spent 2 days now watching South Carolina tape, and I have left being relatively pleased. If I were a South Carolina football fan, I would be relatively pleased with the level of coaching that I saw in this football game. The level of game plan, the level of design, the level of execution from all of these guys involved. You'll see it pretty early on from Dow Loggins. I think he sees what I'm seeing, with the opportunity to watch it on film, right? He's seeing it during the game. All right, here we go. We open up again with what I'm calling that looks like base personnel right now. They got 3 linebackers on the field. Actually, Jonathan, that looks to me to be a nickel right there. That looks to me to be a defensive back. So we have a star here and 5 DBs with a linebacker. That's number 54. Really experienced unit, by the way, just to let you know. A lot of veterans here. A lot of guys that played a lot of football. There's number 2, Jamon Dumas-Johnson. So we are indeed, and like I said, that opening 4-2-5 nickel-based defense, all right, from Kentucky, where for years we have turned the tape onto these guys and seen kind of that 3-4 odd front from these dudes. I will say this, based off watching it last night, they'll give you some funky alignment now. They will align it almost seems improperly because of how big they are. You're also going to get a lot of slants, a lot of stunts, and a lot of undisciplined football play. I think the last 3 years, Georgia has gotten these guys on hard counts. Just to let you know, okay? They jump off sides, they get late hits, they do stuff, they play physical, they play fast, they play a little bit unhinged at times as a defense. There you see again that 4-2-5 nickel shell. I was almost like surprised to see this. This is not Kentucky football. This is a brand new version of this type of defense, okay? They got two really good linebackers, though. 2 and 54. I don't think they're as fast as other people in the conference at this position. They're certainly as physical, and they might be even a little bit more instinctual than some of these linebackers at most of these schools because they, again, have played a ton of football. Real physical play out here on the edge from the corner, drawing a holding call from this wide receiver. Looks to me to be some kind of two-man. Maybe, right? These three got these three. You're going to see at the snap JDJ bail out as this guy goes to bail out. I see two safeties dropping deep here, and I see locked coverage back on the backside. I see a bunch of mixed coverage, if I remember correctly, from last night. Just, again, looking through this before we came here, you're going to see a bunch of different things in the back end. Going to have to confirm with the post-snap looks what we are getting as a quarterback. Not anything that I would worry about if I were a Georgia fan, because you know Carson Beck is who Carson Beck is. Now, a very multiple defense. Now, I think it is 3rd and 18 at this point, so they're already way behind the sticks. We're going to hop into a 3-down front with a bunch of DBs on the field. There's 3 linebackers on the field, 5 defensive backs, okay? 5 defensive backs back there. So be prepared for, again, a multiple front. You're going to get 3 downs. Oh, by the way, if they are in a 3-down, count number 2. They're not going to drop that guy. You didn't drop that guy. They're not dropping that guy. All right. They're going to bring Pop. So go ahead and count him from what I've seen. There is no hesitation here. He's immediately plugging. All right. And blitzing. That is the 4th rusher. Can't miss that one. We got 5 for their 4. We better be able to pick that up. South Carolina does a bad job. They give up a sack here. South Carolina eventually settles in on this football game. All right. Eventually settles in. Obviously, you could tell that by the score. It looks like a version of maybe, hell, I don't even know. It looks like they're in man down on the bottom with safety help. Looks like these guys at the snap take their eyes to their assignment with inside leverage. Safety's got outside help. It looks to me over here, they might be running some type of quarters, okay, and mixed coverage because this linebacker bails up underneath. All right, so what I'm telling you right now, based off what we're seeing in just a couple of snaps, you're going to get mixed coverage. This is not going to be what we saw last week or a couple weeks ago where Clemson's just going to line up and play cover 3. All right, so you're going to get mixed coverage. You're going to have to maybe get one side you got man, one side you got zone. You're going to have to read your indicators really, really well as a quarterback. Not something I would ever be worried about with Carson Beck. How we get beat on a 3-man or a 4-man rush? All right, so now it's 3rd and 18. Saw South Carolina do this a lot. This is the old Gus Malzahn. All right, it's the old Gus Malzahn. Get him in a 3rd and long. We're going to run and stock block, okay? We're going to run this guy back underneath the line of scrimmage and try to get a busted play, right? Try to get somebody out in space, all right, and get some blocks. One-on-one, Lenore Sellers end up throwing this ball behind him. All right, and Kentucky rallies to the football, gets off the field. That was all based off of a penalty, though. You know, we're in a negative situation there. All right, so looks to me like this is presenting like quarters. All right, butt to the sideline, eyes inside, safety's bailing to the hashes. Okay. It looks like quarters, but it's going to turn into almost like a man match down on the bottom with the way Kentucky's playing it. Watch this corner. Pay attention to him. Okay, watch what's happening. As this, kind of square in, this slant happens, that corner's real grabby, ain't he? That corner's real grabby. All right, this is the first time they've really attacked him. Lenore Sellers throws a good slant ball right here. All right, and guess what? At the top, this guy was kind of grabby too. He sunk in too. Now, he's doing a good job of bumping back out, but as a offensive analyst now, as an offensive coordinator, be paying attention to what's happening out here at the corner position, right? Number one, a little bit grabby right there for a guy who's truly in quarters. He should be passing that off. If we're in quarters, he should be passing that off to that safety. No different, by the way, than this corner's passing this off to this guy so he can pick up that wheel on the top up there, okay? See that? Corner's transitioning here. It looks to me to be some type of quarters match. All right, but we got one corner being real sticky on the bottom side of this formation. Something to pay attention to as the game progresses. This is Jamon Dumas Johnson, and this is exactly what we talked about the other day during our show about him. All right, I've been waiting for Georgia to find some longer, taller, slightly more athletic linebackers. All right, and they have been too since this guy was starting. All right, because it wasn't happening in the passing lanes for them. All right, the guy just not long enough. The guy just couldn't gain ground enough, right? They felt this way about Monty Rice too. Monty Rice is a great football player, but they like Smile Mondon a little bit better than Monty Rice because Smile can get into some windows and really make throwing lanes hard. And this is what we're talking about. This guy's incredibly instinctual. He's always moving first. Look at that. Never once puts his eyes on the route, but somehow drifts directly up underneath it. He's extremely instinctual, but he is missing that. He is missing that inch. Right? He is missing that 1 inch on the arm length. He is missing that 2 or 3 inches on the vertical. He is missing that one little bit to make that impact, right? This is a game of inches, especially at the highest level of evaluation and scouting, right? Just barely missed that ball. But he's 9 times out of 10, most players aren't even there. You know what I mean? Because he's moving so well in terms of thinking in the right spot, being in the right spot. Super instinctual football player, just missing that 1% extra in terms of God-given physical capabilities. Still in that 4-2-5 here. Looks like playing some type of zone coverage on the bottom, but lock on the top. Look at this. They're going to lock this guy, provide him one little bit of safety help. Over here, it looks to me like we're playing quarters. Okay? Very interesting. Very interesting to see what we got going on from Kentucky, and just in terms of a mixed coverage bag. Quarterback draw from South Carolina. Or quarterback keep, I should say, off of the outside zone RPO. Read options, what we're going to call that. There was no pass off this. I'm going to tell you what, this guy, I thought South Carolina did a decent enough job. I'm not going to say neutralizing him, but not allowing him to wreck the game. All right? Even though there are times where Deion Walker certainly flashes in this tape. All right, certainly flashes in this tape. By the way, if I were preparing for him and say I were Jared Wilson or I were Tate Ratledge, I'd say, oh, damn. Now I'm going to have to see him a whole hell of a lot more, right? If I were to go into this study as offensive lineman, I was thinking he was going to be playing 4-eye, playing defensive end, bothering our tackles all day. Now he's going to be bothering me as an offensive guard or as a center especially. All right, I think the mismatch would be a 350-pounder over the top of Jared Wilson, right? If there were one in Jared Wilson's game right now, we know he's a great athlete. Hey, what about that anchor? What if I put an absolute, fire hydrant or, fire truck in front of you like Deion Walker? So we'll see. We'll see what they do. He's obviously a little bit closer to the football now just based off of pure defensive alignment. Still in this 4-2-5. South Carolina hopping back into empty, giving some jet motions. I'd have it in the game plan. It is in the game plan, right? That's number 2. We know he can't necessarily run. We know this unit right here is filled with big bodies. We know they can't necessarily run. Right? 54 on the backside. I love him. He's led their team in tackles for 2 years. He's a 3-year starter in SEC. I like him. I like him a lot. Wouldn't say he's a burner. All right? So if it's in their game plan, I like it in yours, especially if they're going to be a soft zone coverage team. You're not going to present this out of empty, though, I don't believe. I haven't seen Georgia run jet sweep out of empty in forever. I couldn't remember one. I sure hope I turn my microphone on. That makes me real nervous.
It's reading like you.
Yeah, I know. It is. I just checked. All right. So, hey, we saw them corners getting real sticky, right? Watch this at the top. Out of quarters, all right, what they want to match it. All right, that's fine. Check this out. Whoop, whoop. There's a tud right there. And now it's not the same corner, right? This one down on the bottom was the one that was real grabby. But nonetheless, it's attacking the concept. I told you, they're in them soft zone quarters right here, but it looks like it would play some type of match. At some point, if I run into your zone, are you going to get a little too sticky? Are you going to get a little too grabby? If so, we'll out and up with the number 2, and we got a tud right there. It's a great job by the coordinator coming back to it. He tried earlier, right? We saw that corner really transfer that off. Well, he comes right back to it a little bit later and gets a touchdown out of it. Great job, Dow Loggins, right there calling that play. I just don't know. Rushing 3, dropping 8 right here. This would never be in my plan for defending Carson Beck in Georgia. I don't care how good my pass rush is with 3 guys. There's no way I'm going to be rushing 3 dudes against Georgia, allowing their offensive coordinator staff and quarterback, who have seen way too much football and process way too much information, to just line up and play zone coverage. We got to be very, very multiple when we play the University of Georgia as a defense. Now that traveled like man, didn't it? Mm-hmm. That traveled like man. They are running the football, and it looks like they did get 1 high man. All right, so there you go. We are throwing a bunch of different stuff here from Kentucky. All right, very multiple defense. And by the way, they're in a 50 down front. So there's 5 guys on the line of scrimmage here. All right, 50 down front out of a 5-2. Now we're in base personnel playing cover 1, I believe. That's number 13. Maybe that's the nickel playing big. You know what I mean? We'll have to see from the tight. If that's number 3, I believe that's just the nickel playing large. But if that's an outside linebacker, we hopped into base personnel for some reason. Can we get a look over here? Who's my man on this left edge over here? Number 3. All right, so that's indeed the nickel. We're still in 4-2-5 personnel. We just hopped into a 50 front. All right, for Georgia, this would be like Jonel Aguero hopping in and playing the down lineman. Y'all don't do this when teams hop into 12. Y'all wouldn't align like this unless you're bringing pressure anyways, because South Carolina's in 11 personnel. But Kentucky being aggressive here, I would envision if you're getting this, understand you're getting some type of immediate pressure, cover 1 behind you. Let's see who blows it up. They slant. Do they? What? We got a bug on the screen? Hey, whoa. Chill out, bro. Where were we at, man? Damn it. Oh, that's the touchdown right there. All right, here we go. Trying to run counter from South Carolina. They spill it back in. Who does a really good job here? I bet 54 spills this. Because this is the right call against the 50 down front, right? We talked about that in that Michigan-Texas film study. This is the correct play call, all right? We're supposed to be able to get these 2 guys up to this front side inside linebacker, or all the way back, honestly. We might be going all the way here, all the way back, and then pull for the front side inside linebacker right there with the backside tight end. Who blows it up? 54. 54 spins that back. And now we're trying to turn it all back to Big Deion Walker and the rest of the fellas. See what I mean? He still flashes. He'll still shut some shit down every once in a while. And that's a tough ask for number 75. I believe that's my man from Walton High School right there. That's a really tough ask to have him base block that big number 0 right there, right? Deion Walker, 350 pounds. Not somebody you're really used to digging out is what we call that. Not somebody you're used to having to dig out right there as an offensive tackle. South Carolina trying to go to pin and pull. These possessions are dumped when you're in your own inside your own 10. I don't even want to really look at it. Back into empty. More mixed coverage. All right, so they're playing 1 high pre-snap. Look at this. Playing 1 high pre-snap. Post-snap, I think he's going to dive to the middle of the field, and he's going to dive to the middle of the field. Post-snap, they're going to split safety the look. Okay? Look at that. Turns into cover 2, essentially. Not essentially, it is. Presents as cover 3, turns into cover 2 with a simulated and mixed pressure. Okay, they got 4 guys walked up. The 4 guys that are walked don't come. They actually fire the corner right here, drop a linebacker, and bring one of the guys that wasn't walked. And Lenore Sellers just does a great job of extending the play right here because he's confused, right? How can he not be? This is a great job. Young quarterback, right? We're going to give him a bunch of different stuff. We're going to change the looks pre and post snap. We're going to have to make him create due to uncomfortability. That's exactly what he does. This is a really good rep right here from both teams, right? Coordinator throwing something different at him. Quarterback responding through athleticism and creation. Where in the hell is this bug at? Whoo! I am the wrong one. I am the wrong one. All right, here we go. This is the creator. Slips through smoke, steps up through the smoke, gets flat, stays behind the line of scrimmage. That's pretty good, isn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty good right there. So in a couple of series now, we've seen the coordinator from South Carolina. I think they call that an incomplete pass. That's horse shit. We've seen a coordinator from South Carolina really get in his bag to call a touchdown play, and we've seen South Carolina's quarterback make a pretty substantive play right there. All right, third and a zip code. We're going to check the ball down and let it get out of there. I think this is my man from, what's his name from Auburn? Big dude from Auburn. Number one, Robbie Ashford. That's my man Robbie Ashford in there. By the way, if Robbie, I know he throws the ball on this play, but if Robbie Ashford is in the mix, it's a run play if you play in South Carolina. I'm just going to let you know on that one right there, okay? We're going to see it here in a second. They ran him out there to get that little third down. Now, this is a brand new series, all right, with Robbie Ashford at quarterback, and you watch. All right, we turn the South Carolina offense into Wildcat right here, okay? We're just going to be running that rock and running that pill. All right, so in a 4-2-5 still from Kentucky. But watch this. This is what I love about, say what you want. I think Stoops is well coached no matter what. We saw them kind of running that 4 high or that 2 high kind of cover 4 look. Robbie Ashford gets on the field immediately, and watch what Kentucky does. They're immediately going to go to a split safety defense. They're immediately going to add this guy. They're going to play 1 high now as opposed to that 2 high quarter shell where the 2 safeties are 10, 12 yards off the ball. Now we're going to roll one into the box, essentially, add him into the count immediately. This is the second play the guy's been on the field, right? They know what I know. Robbie Ashford's in there to do one thing, that's run the damn rock, all right? So I like how quickly this defensive staff is adjusting to certain things. That's a freshman at left tackle, by the way, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah.
That's a freshman at left tackle looking really, really athletic and really, really aware of his surroundings. But this is a violent and athletic, experienced defensive line. I would say there's probably 70 starts among these 3 guys. Because wherever number 0, I think that's number 8. I think this is number 0 over here. I mean, 0's got 40 of them, doesn't he? All right, so all we got to do is find 15 between these other 2, and I guarantee I've seen 92 on tape for years now, I feel like. I've seen 8 on tape for years now, it feels like. I've seen 13 on tape for years now, it seems like. I know I've seen 54 on tape for years. Again, Robbie Ashford's in there. They running that rock. Ain't no business playing nothing else. All right, engage 8, get after them, whatever. Don't let them do anything from a run game perspective because that's what they're doing. That looks tickle me Elmo soft from that left guard back there, don't it? Why are we pitter-pattering through the hole, big guy? Why are we pitter-pattering through the hole? Get up there and strike. Get up there and strike. By the way, I do want to point this out. This cat right here, and we're really going to see it when the camera angle flips on us. This cat right here got to be 210 pounds. Got to be 215 pounds. All right, Jonathan, check a roster for me. Number 17, Kentucky, inside linebacker. Can't be but 215. All right, he is very, very thin-limbed. He is very thin-ankled. Now, plays big, tries to play big, still 215 pounds in my opinion. I mean, he look like a DB in there.
217.
He's 217. Again, Plays pretty big, willing to stick his nose in, as all Southeastern Conference linebackers have to be, but still 217 pounds. And there's no doubt about it when you see him, he is thin. Okay? We got safeties in this conference that roll around at 220, my guy. If Robbie Ashford's in, we are running the ball. And not well. Boy misses a hell of a hole right here. To the door. To the door. All right, again, doesn't take them long. Doesn't take them long to start making some adjustments. All right. And they're locked on this backside now. And it looks like they're playing man here, which means we got all kind of eyes on the box, right? All these guys right here get to put their eyes on the box to stop the run. Now, he's got the center of the or middle of the field, but we got 1, 2, 3, and 7, right? 3 plus 4 is 7. We got 7 guys for yours. You're not going to be able to, like some games going into this, I feel like, and maybe this is why Georgia doesn't always dominate these football games. I don't feel like I've ever watched Georgia beat the shit out of the coaching staff on the other sideline against Kentucky. You know what I mean? If Georgia beats them, it's because the players have physically dominated in the matchup. And it's really, really hard to physically dominate that to that much degree in the SEC. You're really only going to be 18 to 20 points better than the roster, no matter how good your roster is in this conference. The rest of the point spread comes from coaching in a mismatch in alignment or a mismatch in certain areas, right? I don't feel like Kentucky allows you to do that. So if you're going to beat them, you got to physically beat them in these football games. You got to be that much better than them. And I think that's, Jonathan, honestly, I think that's kind of played out in his performances as a football coach. If teams are better than him, he loses. But he doesn't lose games he shouldn't lose because he's a decent football coach. That's going to bug the shit out of me the whole entire time. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to make me angry all day long. Because all I'm trying to do is be great. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow this damn channel, and it requires work. That's what it requires. Why'd they hop into a random base 3-4? So this is what we expect from them. This is what they have been. You see, this is a very clearly different picture. All right, now, he's back on the field, so maybe this is why. Maybe it's why. Maybe they're just treating this like, hey, let's jump into 3-4 because we don't need to play nickel because some bitch ain't throwing the ball. Again, so very, very adaptive in the middle of the football game right here from the coaching staff. Does it work for them? No, they end up getting beat. But they're trying, right? They're not just going to sit there and let you beat them. They're going to they're going to make adjustments as a staff. Now back into the 4-2-5 nickel. Again, man, just like send the house. Why are we even bothering? Why are we even bothering with coverage? Just put everybody on the line of scrimmage. The dude's running the ball. I think Pop might overrun this one, if I remember correctly. See what I mean by mismatched, funky alignment? Right? I don't think you can do this against Georgia anymore. All right, where we put linebackers all the way over here, right? And we have 2 guys for a 3-man surface from the offense. We all see that, right? So now this is Dylan Fairchild for the University of Georgia. Dylan Fairchild can get inside this guy, right? We can out-block out here. We can take these tight ends and take for these 2. Now, at Georgia, I don't mind getting some type of combination out here. Or, better yet, getting some type of combination up and turned back towards 54, and then same side in this running back. How many times did we see them same side in the last 2 weeks as an offense? Meaning the running back's on the right, and we're going to still run the ball to the right. Most offenses run the ball this way. 9 times out of 10, that's what they're doing. It's why I believe Kentucky is aligned like this, right? They're like, okay, well, we'll just bump over here. And oh, by the way, we trust these guys. These guys are huge. These guys are big and physical. Georgia used to miss a line like this all the time when they had a certain guy by the name of Jordan Davis because they could, right? They knew that, all right, if we're misaligned by a gap or two at the linebacker position, it's really okay because they're not going to be climbing to the second level today over number 99's ass. You know what I mean? So, like, it's the same thing here. I believe this is zero. Right? It's the same thing for zero. They're going to bump the alignment and get some type of advantage in their own mind and their own minds, right? Because zero is really, really good. All right. And they're going to be willing to allow him to have what happens to him right here, right? They're going to be willing to allow a double team and let him stand in there and try to be as big and physical as possible. I don't even want to study the rest of this possession for South Carolina because I do not believe that they're going to hop in and play that defense against you because you don't have a formation like that where everybody in the stadium knows you're running the ball, so we need to hop into base personnel. We're not doing that. See what I mean by funky alignment? Look at this shit. We'll include the linebacker. We got 4 over 3 with the back on the right. It's goofy alignment sometimes. Now, it works out for them right here. As an offense, I don't know why we aren't just saying, all right, well, that's what you want to do? Okay. Why can't the tight end just seal out that way? We get a double team here. We got a free hitter here. And you know what I mean? I don't know. Instead, they roll right into the defensive end and get their quarterback hit. Now, you watch the score, or you look at the scoreboard of this football game, and you're like, damn, Kentucky kind of got handled. Their defense almost kept them in this one if a couple of things bounced differently. If this ball bounces differently, this is a red zone possession where at least getting a field goal. All right? There's a couple more plays later on in this football game where the same exact thing happens. They plug 2 corner blitzes in a row, and Mans doesn't see it at all. Quarters again, right? That's what it looks like to me.
Yep.
All right, let's see what they do post-snap. Rolled to thirds. This guy's coming down. He's going in the middle of the field. Again, disguised coverage. Veteran unit, man. They're not going to line up and play defense. Oh, Lenoris, this ball's late. Yeah, your coach is trying to help you. By the way, great job, Dow Loggins. Defense for Kentucky, been giving you 3, right? Been giving you cover 3 over and over again. So what are we going to do? We got one of these safeties rolling to the middle of the field. We said this one splits. All right, this one's got deep thirds. This one's got deep thirds. So what he's going to do, I can't quite remember what he does with these guys. I think he runs them off into the corners. All right, but we're going to run a hook and a spot right over the ball. All right, right up over these inside linebackers and right underneath this outside or this safety, because here's where the void is in this defense. I think it's a really good job right here by the coordinator from South Carolina. A bad job, all right, by the quarterback of being late. All right, boom. We got to throw that ball now. We got to throw that ball right now, okay, to that spot, all right, to this spot. What we can't do is float left and then go, and then throw it late as we're getting hit and elevate this football and get it picked off. You can really see it from the tight, just in terms of the timing right here. All right, hold on. Are they still in that off front? No. Yeah, they are. No, they're not. That's a jack. All right, they're playing him like a stand-up jack out there. All right, so that's that nickel front. Again, that's that 4-2-5 from Kentucky, playing cover 3 out of it. Again, good play call, I thought, by Loggins, the OC from South Carolina. We just don't execute it as a quarterback. Watch this. All right. Now, throw it away from this guy, right? But throw it now. You got your eyes on it. You're eventually going to come back to it. What we can't do is reset our platform and then let that ball rip and elevate it. All right? We got to throw it when it's available. We can't be late on these footballs. Windows close faster in the SEC. Kneeing the ball out after or before the half. All right, on to the second half. Looks like they're showing quarters again. And they end up playing quarters again in the back end out of empty. Playing soft zone. Good job by the quarterback on 1st and 10 right here. Just taking the answer, right? It's 1st and 10. Let's play ahead of the sticks. They're trying to plug. All right, again, a firm rule here. Firm rules in offense. If they've got 3 down linemen and number 2 is on the field, we are counting him as the 4th. We all understand that? All right, everybody understands that. All right, they are not dropping that guy. We've seen every single time he's been on the field, if there is a 4th rusher with 3 down linemen, number 2 is certainly the 4th rusher. What's our timestamp over there, John?
35.
Looks like cover 1 with some pressure, doesn't it? From the nickel. Nickel's coming in. We got 3 over 3 over here. 1 high safety. Only thing that makes me have reservations is I can't tell what that body type is over there. But I think they just ran the corner over here. Yeah, see, look. The corner's trying to figure out where he's going. So this is exactly what Georgia will do normally in these situations. You're kind of playing your own basic fundamentals, meaning like as an offense, I'm kind of preparing for a 4-2-5 nickel football team that responds in very similar ways that our defense does. Normally when teams do that, they don't have a lot of success unless their name's Alabama over the last several years, right? That's about it. You do what we do with not our players, we're probably going to be okay against you. Hey, look, this is still this is what I'm talking about. This ball bounces differently. Kentucky's in a very different spot, guys. A very different spot. So if you don't think their defense can make you play a 17-14 game, that's going to be their game plan this year. That's what they're trying to do in this ball game, all right? They ran the ball 18 times in a row. You know why? Because they saw 2 possessions like this, where they're like, ooh, we're 1 play away from almost scoring our damn selves on the defensive side of the football. We just can't get the ball to bounce up the right way because this young quarterback ain't seeing nothing from his right side. This is really, really bad spatial awareness from this young quarterback. By the way, they do it again. They're plugging the corner right here. They're firing the corner out of this nub. You see him right here pulling into the screen. That's an immediate fumble, ball on the ground. No awareness of where the pressure's coming from, right? He could have had all day and would have never saw that guy out of the corner of his eye. All right, so we wait like maybe 6 plays to do the same. No, we don't. We wait 1 play to do the same exact thing, and we allow the same exact thing to happen. Dewey from South Carolina. Look at that. Blow him up again. Another fumble. Ball on the ground. Kentucky hops on it, right? Nope. Kentucky does not. South Carolina hops right back on the ball. They end up punting the football 2 plays later. So, again, if this type of stuff goes another way, it's totally different. It's a totally different football game. I, again, don't know. This doesn't apply to you. They're not firing corner blitzes 2 plays in a row on Carson Beck. He will kill them. He will kill them. You can do this against a redshirt freshman, all right, that obviously didn't see the first one and damn sure didn't see the second one. I mean, not even like a late look, oh shit, protect the football, buddy. Oh, God. And they can't fall on the ball. They had 2 or 3 guys right there with an opportunity to get on the rock and couldn't do it. So now 3rd and 20, 3rd and 25. Hey, I got a guess of what they finna do. What you think they finna do?
Run football.
Well, a version of it. They're Gus Malzahn running it, right? They're doing the same thing. Y'all, this is what I love about fan bases, right? 10 years ago, this was a halfback draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are we running a draw play?
4 verts.
9 times out of 10, you catch fan base seeing this and they're like, hey man, at least we tried. Right? We tried to run verts. He checked the ball down. Now, they'll get mad at the quarterback for checking the ball down. Little do they know, the purpose of the play is to check the ball down. It's a screen. All right? But I guarantee there's a South Carolina fan that watched this and goes, you know what, man? Hey, we tried. We're still aggressive. Whereas they hand the ball off on a quarterback or a halfback draw right now, irate. Absolutely irate. With regards to the actual purpose of the play, we're trying to run something safe that hopefully maybe, it's like buying a lotto ticket, hopefully maybe it'll bust and we get a first down. No, you're punting the football safely is what you're trying to do right now and hoping something big happens. But it's not a halfback draw, so everybody's okay. Four, 2, 5. But look at the box. Look how weird the box alignment is. Again, I think they just studied Georgia from 19 to 2021 and was like, hey, we like what they did with Jordan Davis. Let's try to do that with Deion Walker and still try to make Deion Walker a 3 tech. Because look at this spacing. Outside or inside linebacker, inside linebacker. All right, we got a 3-eye out here. The jack standing up over here with the back to the right. So what's stopping me as an offense, hear me out, from, all right, doing some type of action here, drawing this defender's eyes, pulling him, okay, running counter back to the top side, down blocking on that defensive end, down blocking on this nose, all the way back to this linebacker in space. By the way, we're pulling for him. We could if we wanted to. If he wants to show and flash color, we got one for him. And we still got a plus hat for the front side inside linebacker. You know what I am now? I am face to face with the safety, banging my head on the goalpost. Check this out. Okay, let's do it from the tight. Oh, because they're slanting. Still fine. We still got the numbers. Okay? Down block or ISO, right? We're down blocking all the way here back to number 2, who's all the way over here, by the way. Number 2 standing all the way back over there. All right, we're pulling. All right, we're wrapping. We're pulling. We got to show inside hand pressure here and then get back. Maybe we even bring the H because we can't pull the tackle because the tackle's probably going to have to seal on the backside. I like counter either way is what I'm trying to show you. Especially if look at that bumped alignment. Oh, that's really, really weird. Look how open. Right?
Yeah.
All right. I think they're good. I think they're fundamentally sound. I think schematically they're okay. I keep 24-6. 24-6 is what I keep thinking, Jonathan. Because if you're up 17-3 in this football game, squat on it, get home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just squat on it, get home. Because they do play a physical brand of football. Here they hop back into that 3-4. Why'd they do it? South Carolina's in 11 personnel. Is it short yardage? Yeah, it's 3rd and 2. All right, so there you go. I like it. I like what they do. I think they're well coached. I think they got a good schematical foundation. I think they're very mixed in terms of coverage. They disguise things really well. They're very veteran. That's a good unit. That's a really good unit. Now, their offense obviously put them in some bad spots in this football game. Later on in this game, they start giving up explosives. You want to run a bunch of zone, I'm going to flood you. Later on in this football game, Dow Loggins calls a fake toss, all right, vertical 3-shot into a 3-man zone. So you've got all of these things in your playbook as well. I expect some type of explosive passing game when needed, and then once you get up in this football game, I expect you to squat on it. Hey, for Brooks Austin from Film Guy Network, for the boy Jay Will, appreciate you for being here. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out.